Welcome to the garden. It's April 2022. So today I want to just walk through the garden and really thoroughly document how things are looking right now. A year ago now, we still hadn't bought this cabin and the property, so we didn't have access to the garden a year ago. So this is the first time I'm experiencing April here, so it's exciting to be able to see the snow melting and things starting to grow. Things that I planted here last year. It's a lot of fun seeing what survived and what didn't work out. So yeah, let's take a look. So the first thing I want to point out, let's see, I'll stop walking on the snow, is now we're standing in front of the cabin here, and this is a path that comes up, and there used to be a lot more trees here. Now there are just like two main big trees. You can see the stump of one of them here. I think those are sycamore trees, which are I don't know what the status is in the rest of the world, but here they're considered invasive, so I just don't want them here at all. So we cut that down, and now they're composting over there. And just removing a lot of the trees here has really cleaned up the view, and it just makes it look a lot more. It makes it look a lot more organized when you come up here. As we walk up to the house here, we have kind of an interesting cave. It's so dark, so I don't really see what's in there. And I kind of don't want to know what's in there, but it's exciting. There are definitely some mice. Another thing I did is that we had some bushes growing on this little ledge here by the flagpole, and there's still, you can see these kind of bushes. They have flowers, so they're not and the bees seem to like them a lot, but I'm gonna have other things for the bees and I don't like them, so I'm trying to remove them. When I was cutting them down, there was still snow here, so I missed a lot of them, but and then on the other side here they continue, and you see how it's just kind of a mess. So I want to kind of clear out this whole bush, all this bush stuff. Here are the raspberries, so I'll go down into the lower area here. And here too, this is another one of these sycamore trees. This one is nice as kind of a support when you walk down the path, because it's kind of steep here, so that's why I've kept it like this, and then it'll probably rot eventually, but it can give some support for now. And the same with this one here. So our well hole thing is completely full. I wonder if there are any animals in here. I don't think so. They don't seem to like it. I think because it's kind of an unstable source of water because it dries out in the summer. One project this summer will be, or one project as soon as possible will be getting this rusty thing away. It's kind of grown into, I think it's rolled out this way a bit, so I tried removing it last year, but it's kind of grown into the ground. We'll fix this. So here I grew potatoes and beets. None of them did very well because it's kind of a cold place here, so I'm gonna have to rethink what I grow down here. Here I have my rhubarb called red champagne. You see, it has extra red stalks, and it's supposed to be more sweet than other varieties. I planted it last year and it's coming up nicely. And then the other rhubarb is this one, which was here when we took over. Kind of a weird place to plant it, like in I wonder if it was just dumped here, because I know that this area I find a lot of just trash and sticks, and it seemed like they just dumped everything down this hill. So I wonder if they just threw an old rhubarb plant and maybe planted itself, or the previous owners used it to grow rhubarb there. And this is my massive tree branch compost, and this is completely not my work other than filling it up. So the original structure was here, built by a friend of mine. She found all these old rotten trees down here and cut them up and built kind of a log cabin style thing, which was maybe 2 by 1 meter large here, but that filled up so fast. So then later in the summer, my mom and my boyfriend expanded it into the hill here by just putting these long trees here and then kind of sticking these little sticks down, so it's not super solid, but it's fine. And I'll show the other side again. So it looks like this. And then throughout the winter I've been cutting down trees and just throwing garden scraps in here. So it'll compress a lot as things rot, but it's been really good. It's really good just having a spot to throw everything. And they also cleared out this rock. It makes a really nice bench. I eventually want to put lots of benches around in the garden in different places, but for now this is my only bench. So that, I think, is this lower area. I like it down there. It's a nice place. Oh, and one last thing is I made a tiny bed here where I planted the hosta and these, 3 of these, which I cannot remember the name of, but I'll find it and put it somewhere. I've had some trouble with my pots escaping. I think I have another one lying over here. Let's see if the snow will still carry me. I need these now. Okay, let's see if I can climb up over here. Yes. Okay, then we can look through this. The main part of the garden. So, in the front, snow in my boots. So in the front here I put up this winter. It was snowy outside, but I dug the snow away and then put down newspapers on the ground and put the palette color up and filled it with compost and sticks and store-bought soil. And then I put, so it's the soil itself is just one level deep, and then I put another one to keep this lid above the soil, and I planted spinach in here. So you can see the spinach is growing. Unfortunately, I have some problem with mice in here. I think they like the bokashi compost. So I don't know exactly. I think it'll get better as soon as the compost turns into soil. But that's why the soil isn't all the way flat. It's a bit ruffled over there. So we'll see, but I think it'll just get better in a while. And these pots are Jerusalem artichokes. Last year I had planted Jerusalem artichokes in a big pot. Unfortunately the drainage of the pot wasn't very good, and so the Jerusalem artichokes rotted inside. All of them except for a few, and so this year I'm going to plant them directly in one of these long beds here. And for now I've put them in these pots which do have okay drainage, and it's just a temporary place to have them in soil until the snow has melted. I also cut down these two bushes, so they're just the stumps left, because I want to put up 4 palette colors, 2 on each side of the stairs here, to have some flowers and herbs. That'll probably be a long-term project because I want this area to be fairly open to do some repairs on the cabin here. But in the future I want to have some stuff growing here. I'll cut them all the way down to the ground, but I don't have a chainsaw, so that'll have to wait. Okay, and then the front here, and I know it looks like absolutely terrible. I've tried to make the snow melt faster, and that's why it's so dirty, because I've been spreading ashes and dirt and coffee grounds on the soil. So it's not so pretty, but it's melting. So here's the bed where I had the wooden frame down in the fall. So this is like the cleanest one, sort of. And then I built 2 new wooden frames to put on the bed that's gonna appear under the snow here. And there's one under the snow here. And then I had my 4th one was up here. That was the one that actually had the frame last summer, and then I moved it to this one. But here, now with the greenhouse coming here, I'm gonna change this into a pathway. So the pathway will be kind of here, and then all the way up against the greenhouse to kind of hold down the plastic of the greenhouse. I'm going to build a kind of a nice, like a nice but very narrow bed here to have perennial flowers in. And that'll be another project for this spring, is to put on the other door frame on the other side and put the plastic over and start actually preparing the soil inside the greenhouse. Here I put down lots of rotted wood and like grass turfs on top to kind of build up, because the ground kind of slants down here. But I'll have to kill the grass in here somehow. I'm thinking of putting down some like black stuff to just kill the grass that way, and then start building some frames in here. So I just I'm gonna start on this side and then just like maybe this year just have a few pots and some frames to make it kind of easy, and then expand to the other side of the greenhouse over the next years. I also took some cuttings from these, maybe you call them runners, at least like the things that come growing off the strawberries. So here I have two new strawberry plants, and I have some more over here, although I don't know how. I think I planted them too deep, and then I watered them, and then the soil kind of came on top of their leaves, so we'll see how these do, but I still have the strawberries I had last year, so I'm just hoping to get a few new ones. This, I don't know what it's called in English, but it's growing well. And I also have some chives that I sowed last year that are doing great. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to have in each of the lying beds here yet, but I'll figure that out and share that in the May garden tour. It's getting dark now, but this is my herb bed. It's still partially covered by snow, but I think as soon as it melts I'll clean it up a bit, and I think it will be I think things will be doing fine. There's definitely some green stuff here. And this was kind of like my baby plant bed for the winter, so I have a lot of wild strawberry plants here that I'll be moving somewhere else, I don't know quite where. And then my snail, of course. And I think I have some catnip here, some lemon catnip. And I did have some lamb's lettuce here to see if it was able to survive. It survived quite late into the fall, but it's kind of dead now. Maybe it'll come to life, we'll see. And I may have some perennial alliums here too. I can't see anything now, but maybe something will turn up, so we'll see. A friend of mine and I also planted wild tulips on this little plateau here with the bird bath, and up the hillside there, and they have come up, the leaves of them, and at least the ones that are not covered by snow, so I'm really looking forward to seeing them in flower. And yeah, we'll see. I'll probably be reorganizing these beds here. Not the long ones here, they'll stay, but the two ones behind, the one that I had this like teepee structure in last summer, and then the other bed behind there that's woven. I'll be changing this up and putting wooden frames here so they'll be more square. And I haven't quite decided, because this is actually quite a shady area because the trees around here are so large, and this is south. So initially I thought this would be a great place because it's the furthest south and it's kind of slanted towards south as well, but because of the trees it's not great. But I'm sure some plants would be fine with that. If not, I could turn this into like a berry bush area or something, we'll see. It's flexible long term.